Beautiful Monday morning in the city of Lagos. Good morning and welcome to Today in the News here on Vanguard Life. My name is Ololade Adewumi. I look into our newspapers for today, starting with Vanguard as usual. Major headline on Vanguard says 42 killed in deadly terror attacks. New Year bloodshed in Niger State. Trump stokes a confusion in Venezuela. Maduro faces arraignment as global outrage grows. Top banner says industry chiefs, economists warn major test for economy in 2026. You can see the banner with the FIRS unveiling a new dawn in revenue administration. The FIRS will now be called the NRS, Nigerian Revenue Service. Away from the Vanguard, a look into the Punch newspaper. Major headline on the Punch says NNPC subsidiaries debt balloons 70% to 30 trillion naira. Only 8 of 32 subsidiaries remain free of intercompany debt. NNPC owes unit 20.5 trillion naira amid asset sales plan. Top banner says Tinubu orders Manot as terrorist kills over 40 in Niger. New tax regime, watch true, watch not. Brace for anti-tax unrest, NRS tells security agencies. Away from that, a look into the Nation newspaper, which headline on the Nation says, Hunt down terrorist, Tinubu orders. Top banner has a quote from Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oloyede, saying, success doesn't close the chapter, it turns the page. Away from that, a look into the Guardian newspaper. Major headline on the Guardian says, Venezuela crisis may create $10 billion hole in federal government 58 trillion naira spending plan. Top banner says U.S. action against Venezuela undemocratic against international laws. Tinubu unleashes security as terrorists kill 30, abduct many in Niger. Tax law controversy deepens as National Assembly releases CTCs. That's all we have on the front page of the newspapers this morning. Join us after the break for a quick analysis of some of our top stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News here on Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adewumi. With me in the studio today for a quick analysis is Mr. Leo Mohammed. He's the CEO of Magna Communications Limited. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ololade. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Happy New Year.
Same to you. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year?
Barely non-existent. Well,
you mean no, I doubt that.
Honestly, there was really nothing.
I heard that you killed the ram.
That's not true. It's a pleasure having you in the studios today,
Same
sir.
Here.
I look into our first story for today. Bandits have again stormed a community in Niger State, during which no fewer than 42 persons, including children, were said to have been killed, while some were also said to have been abducted. The incident, which occurred in Agwara and Bogo local government areas of the state, came less than 1 month after over 300 people, students and staff of St. Mary Catholic School, were abducted in the same local government area. So let's look at this. Even after a series of attacks from the federal government, and even with the help of the US, why does this still persist?
Well, I wouldn't know why we have this kind of criminal activities around us. People killing without any reason. It is disturbing. It is embarrassing that we have a government in place, yet we have this kind of terrible incidents happening around us. I would think that the government will have to sit down to assess these situations critically and decide on some lines of action. Because it is disturbing that we have a government in place and we have some dastardly criminals killing people the way they like. It casts negative aspersions on the government that is in place today. And we know that we have the powers and the means to check these brutal killings. Why are we not doing something to stop it? That is the question. Because you see, we've shed far more than enough blood in the northern part of Nigeria. I think it is time that the government will do everything within its powers to stop it. You have innocent people being killed. You have children being killed just anyhow. It is disturbing. Each time I read these stories, I feel like, don't we have a system in place that can check these terrible things? We do. But the government, I think, is probably, I wouldn't say the government is not sensitive to this incident. The government is completely sensitive in view of the reactions to these incidents. But I think the government will have to be more proactive these times to ensure that some of these things do not happen.
So, what would you say exactly is the reason for the failure, even after, so many use of equipment and new equipment being given to them? Would you say it's a leadership failure in the architecture, security architecture?
You say, I wouldn't say it's a leadership failure. The leadership have been trying to ensure that these incidents come to the barest minimum. The problem we have is at the level of the states. The governors, to me, are not doing enough. It is one thing for the federal government to say, look, we are doing this. They only have the police. The police can only succeed where the state government gives maximum cooperation to them. This is my thinking. If the state government is not giving maximum cooperation to the police, then the chances of eradicating these massive killings remains completely remote. There must be cooperation with the law enforcement agents. These people who are killing live within our communities. So if all of us in the community are focused and determined to eradicate these killings, we will surely do. So if you really look at it, there are compromises in different aspects of fighting these criminal activities, serious compromises. And I don't know for what reason we are allowing these compromises. Human lives is sacrosanct, and it shouldn't be taken just anyhow. We have laws that forbids the killing of innocent people. So those laws should be brought to bear on the perpetrators of these evil acts.
Okay, so based on what you just said, would you say that the introduction of, state police would adequately curb, this insecurity?
Yes, because the Nigerian police, as it is structured today, takes authority from the federal government. Even if the governor wants the police to carry out some things, once the federal government says no, that's the end. So if the state governor or a state governor is in charge of its own police, then they can be 100% held responsible for this kind of criminal activities. But in a situation where the sitting governor of a state will have crisis and he cannot give instructions to the police, and the police will go right ahead to implement those instructions, it's not good enough. If those who are the perpetrators of these evil acts have links with the federal government, there is nothing anybody can do to them, because the state governor cannot fight people who have some level of reliance on the federal government of Nigeria. But once we have state police, it will make the governors to be more accountable for every criminal activities that will take place within their states. I am telling you, we will have a reduction in all these criminal acts, because if a governor knows that if there is crisis in a state, he may be removed. based on the fact that he's the chief executive officer and the chief security officer of that state, 100%, not as it is today. It will be alert and will not create crisis in his state.
Okay, so let's look at the fact that this attack keep happening in the rural communities, especially in, the Bogu and Agwara community. Why do you think this attack persists in these rural communities?
You see, those areas are largely occupied by illiterates and Fulani herdsmen. A lot of them are there. And these people believe that the policy of education is anti-Islam. Sending a girl child to school, even a boy, they believe that an average boy should be a cattle rearer and that you are working against their interest. Because I have personally investigated why they are killing. And you discover that there is no genuine reason to take anybody's life in any part of this country. That the law doesn't permit it. But you see, in their culture there, they believe that once you go against some Islamic injunctions and some traditional injunctions, you must face automatic death penalty, which is crude. It is against the law of the state and the country. So, number one, apart from fully applying the laws on those who kill, the government must embark on a massive education of these illiterates, that there are laws that are against killing, taking human lives, or even injuring a human being. We have laws that protect every citizen of this country and living in any part of this country. So once they realize that what they are doing is bad and it carries the highest level of punishment, I think this will go down a little. Because they are largely illiterate. You can descend to their level and get them educated. Somebody who can't speak English except his Vulvud Hausa, that's the only language you understand. So you have to come to his level. Yes, that is the missing link. If you still continue to talk to these people, or you let them communicate, you want to make them communicate with people that don't understand outside, that is where the crisis comes from. It is one major source of crisis. Because I have a brother that went to serve in the north. I had to hurriedly request for his redeployment when he told me the experiences that he had, that he was being treated like a leper. Immediately I heard that, I had to influence my sister, the guy is my senior sister's son. I had to influence his transfer back to the southwest. That is the level of discrimination, hatred, bitterness that we have in some part of the north. However, some of them, a lot of the Hausas are very friendly. I have Hausa friends, very, very friendly, that I will go to their homes in Kano, sit down on the mat with them, drink, what do they call that creamy drink?
Kunu.
Take guinea fowl, fried guinea fowl with kunu. You see, that is the level of civility that some of them shows when you have non-Hausa people around you. These people, they will treat me like a king each time I was there, So we shouldn't look at the dirty part of the relationship we have with the Hausas. We shouldn't make it a point of judgment of the entire Hausa people. They are very pleasant. I have friends who are from the north. One of them even called me this morning to wish me happy New Year. So don't let us write off because of the activities of some miscreant. Don't let us write off the good things that we have in that part of the country.
Okay, so do you think that declaring those communities, particularly emergency areas and even the forest zone surrounding it, would actually help in improving?
Yes, it will Is it not when you see people that you feel should not be with you that you start killing them? It is better that they declare these areas as dangerous, no-go areas, and let people avoid those places. If they want to kill themselves, fine. Although killing at whatever level is not acceptable in any society in this world, even in the most cruel environments, you can't just kill people. I am surprised that people, as much as 50, 60, 70, 100 people will be killed and nothing is being done. Human life is sacrosanct. You can't just take it. There must be serious laws, enforcement of serious laws against those who are killing fellow human beings.
Okay, so President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually condemned, the attacks and also ordered that security agencies hunt down the perpetrators of this. But a lot of people keep saying this condemnation only happens after an attack. What concrete benchmark do you think Nigerians need to look at or look forward to in order to see that, the level of this insecurity is actually, being, looked at by the president instead of just coming out to condemn?
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being guarded by laws. Even as president, you cannot just declare war on any environment. There are specific rules and regulations that you must follow in dealing with very bad situations. He declared a state of emergency in Rivers State. Don't forget about that. He did when he felt that the situation that was brewing then could lead to a total breakdown of law and order. Thank God we are free from that crisis now. The other party has joined the APC. The man that is fighting is in PDP. So whatever fight that is going on now will not affect the administration of Rivers State. That is the truth of the matter. We have been able to resolve that crisis. But talking about the crisis in other parts of this country, they are being funded by some well-to-do and interested parties in some situations. I am telling you, if our security agents dig deep, you will discover that some people at night will give arms and ammunition to fellow citizens and say, go and destroy, go and cause problems there, go and kill people there, because they believe that they must show that the governor of that state is not in control of his state. We have such situations. Then we have the new situation where illiterates called Boko Haram and the rest are just going around killing people. That is the worst of all. I believe that the governor of a state should be empowered to a level to take decisions on the fate of such criminals. But again, the non-decentralization of the police system is folding the arms of state governors. There is a limit to which the governors can push the police. If the governor pushes the police to a level that the authorities believe that no, you are a state governor, you are not the IG, there is nothing the governor can do. So as much as possible, we must give way at this stage to the establishment of state police. Let the governor have, if I am the governor of a state and you are telling me that I can't instruct the police to go there and do the ABC and you will listen to me, then there is a crisis. If you have an interested party in the federal government and that party is clashing with the governor of that state, what do you think will happen? More crisis. So we need state police. It is very, very important. It's like me running my home and somebody is telling me that I cannot be in charge, that somebody else will be the one that will be in charge of discipline. It is not possible. So let us sit down and have state police. And in doing that, if the fear is the fact that there will be abuse of power by the governors, it can come with laws that will curb observed abuse of powers by state governors. We should have such laws. But by not having state police, we are not helping this crisis situation that we have found ourselves as a nation. It will be crisis in Maiduguri today. It could be in Kano tomorrow. It will be in Sokoto next tomorrow. For how long are we going to be burying people every day? Innocent Nigerians that are ignorant of the political situation of this country. They are just trying to survive. Some people will just go there and maul them, kill them, and nothing happens. It is disheartening. We must take particular steps to curb these killings. It is becoming too much.
So, given the frequency of attacks, a lot of citizens have actually, lost trust in the security institutions. How should this trust be, restored back in order to make citizens know that, yeah, the presidency actually listens to, this insecurity and is listening to them and actually doing something? How should public?
I have just said we should review the structure of the Nigerian police.
That would take some time.
No, it cannot. It depends on how urgent you want it to be. You have an IG there. The National Assembly can initiate a bill establishing state police and ensure that this bill goes through all the legislative stages and sent to the president for his assent. It is nothing difficult. It's just a matter of getting it right. Make sure that these bills goes through all the required stages and it gets to the president for his assent. That's all. But the problem we have is the manipulation of the security system in this country by interested party. All you need to do is to be a member of the Senate, a state governor, a state deputy governor. You have a convoy of security men, and then you believe that if Mr. A offends you, you send your security men after him. They either kill him or detain him illegally for months. That is not allowed in any democratic system. I will say that as a nation, some of those who are in power are not looking at the possibility of positively utilizing the security apparatus given to them. They use it to maul down the opposition. They use it to hunt the opposition. They use it to kill. They use it to maim. They use it to make money. The security men given to you is to ensure that you are safe, not for manipulations. I was in Edo State recently. Because of the serious crisis there, somebody in government said, no, I want to send you Mopo. I said, no, I don't need Mopo. I have not killed anybody. I am not owing anybody. I don't have any plans to kill. So why do I need the police? Despite the tough situation in Edo State, I went there, moved around without any policeman. And I am back here today. So why should an average member of the State House of Assembly think that he needs up to 8 police to survive if his hands are clean? That is the truth of the matter. People should desist from evil acts. It is the evil acts committed by some of these people who insist that they must have police escort that is haunting them. I mean, I have not killed anybody. As busy, as terrible the roads were, I passed through them. From Lagos to Ijebu-Ode, to Benin to Auchi, I was not accosted by anybody. Nobody stopped me except policemen who were checking. And at every point, once they stop you and they look at you in the car, they will just flag you up because they know that you are not looking like a criminal. That was the treatment that I got from them. Once I sight them from afar, we slow down. good afternoon, good afternoon. Once you want to hear something from you, positive or negative, unfortunately, if what comes out of your mouth is negative, you are in trouble. So we must, again, as citizens, conduct ourselves very well in our relationship with the police so that there will be mutual understanding between the government, the police, and the governed.
A brief look into a second story for today. So, the executive chairman of the Nigerian Revenue Service, Zacchaeus Adedeji, has asked security agencies to be on alert over planned nationwide protest against the new tax law. What are your thoughts on the fact that,
That is,
Mr. Zacchaeus Adedeji?
it is Mr. Zacchaeus of a man is funny. What gives him the impression that people want to protest? What? But he probably knows